If you have money sitting in a savings account right now, that decision could quietly cost you over $300,000 across your lifetime. Not because you made a mistake, not because you did anything reckless, but because the safest financial choice most people make is also one of the most expensive. $300,000 gone. Not in a market crash, not in a scam, but slowly, quietly, inside a savings account that feels safe. And here's the part most people never see. $300,000 is actually the conservative number. By the time we finish the real calculation, the one that includes everything your savings account is costing you, the gap is closer to $450,000. And none of that loss ever appears on your bank statement. It is growing right now, today, while you watch this video. Meet Jordan. Jordan is 28 years old. She works as a marketing coordinator in Chicago and earns $62,000 a year. No credit card debt, tracks her spending, uses a budgeting app. Jordan is exactly the kind of person personal finance advice is designed for. Every month, she saves $400. She deposits it into a high-yield savings account earning 2.5% annually. She watches the balance grow, and she feels like she is doing the right thing. But Jordan is not building wealth. She is participating in one of the most expensive financial illusions in America. Here is the math. If Jordan saves $400 every month in that account, by the time she turns 55, 27 years from now, she will have roughly $208,000. That sounds good. Now take the exact same $400 per month, same discipline, same consistency. But instead of a savings account, it goes into a simple S&P 500 index fund earning a conservative historical return of 8% annually. At 55, Jordan has $512,000. Same person, same income, same monthly contribution. Two different financial decisions. The gap between those two outcomes? $304,000. Not lost dramatically, lost quietly every single month for 27 years. While Jordan felt responsible, but that is only the first number, because what Jordan's savings account is actually costing her is not $300,000. It is significantly more. And to understand why, you need to understand what is happening to her money inside that account, something that never appears on her bank statement. This is the moment most people stop listening, because what I am about to say challenges something you have been told your entire life. You were told that saving is responsible and investing is risky, that a savings account is safe and the stock market is dangerous. That framing is one of the most expensive financial beliefs in America. Savings accounts, even high-yield ones, offer returns of roughly 2 to 4%, sometimes less. Inflation, on the other hand, has averaged roughly 3% annually over the long term. Jordan's account earns 2.5%, which means in many years her money is not growing, it is shrinking. Her purchasing power is quietly falling. The savings account is not a neutral choice. It is a slow loss disguised as safety. Now think about risk honestly. And I know what you are thinking. You have seen what markets do. You have seen the headlines. You have watched portfolios collapse. That instinct makes sense. But here is what the headlines never show you. A 30% market crash feels terrifying. A savings account slowly losing purchasing power feels responsible. But one of those destroys your financial future quietly and permanently. The other recovers. Historically, the S&P 500 has averaged roughly 10% annually over long periods. And in the entire history of that index, there has never been a 30-year period where a patient, consistent investor finished with less money than they started with. Not during the Great Depression, not during 2008, not once. The risk Jordan is avoiding is short-term volatility. The risk she is taking is long-term stagnation. And stagnation does not feel dangerous. It just quietly costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is where the number gets worse. Now here is the second number nobody shows Jordan. Jordan's company offers a retirement plan with an employer match. They will match 3% of her salary. On her $62,000 income, that is $1,860 per year of free money. Money her employer is literally offering to give her. But Jordan never opened the investment account needed to receive it, so that money simply disappears. $1,860 per year, compounded at 8% for 27 years. That is roughly $145,000 gone. Not because Jordan made a mistake, because the account was never opened. Now add the numbers together: $304,000 lost to the investment gap, $145,000 lost to the employer match, and decades of purchasing power quietly eroded by inflation. The real number is not $300,000. It is closer to $450,000. $450,000 leaving Jordan's financial life invisibly, without a single dramatic moment, without a single bad decision, just quietly, every month, for 27 years. But here is the part that makes the calculation even more uncomfortable: time. If Jordan starts investing at 28, she reaches 55 with about $512,000. If she waits until 35, just 7 years, that number drops to $290,000. 7 years of delay costs her $222,000. Wait until 40 and the outcome collapses to $162,000. Same monthly contribution, same return, same discipline, just starting later and losing nearly 70% of the final outcome. Every year you wait does not cost you 1 year of growth, it costs you exponential compounding. Now think about your situation. How old are you right now? Not Jordan's age, yours. Because every month that passes from this point forward costs more than the month before it. Not because the market is rising, but because compounding becomes exponentially more powerful and more expensive to delay over time. And the system that manages your money was never designed to show you this calculation. Your bank profits when your money sits in a savings account. They borrow your deposit at roughly 2.5%, then lend that same money out through mortgages, loans, and credit cards at rates between 8 and 24%. The difference between what they pay you and what they charge everyone else is how the system works. Your bank is not storing your money, it is using your money and paying you the smallest possible return for the privilege. The system was never designed to show Jordan the $450,000 calculation. It was designed to make her feel responsible for participating in it. But understanding the system changes everything, because the solution is simpler than most people think. Here is what Jordan does now. First, open a brokerage account, not another savings account. A brokerage account connected to a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. Fidelity, Vanguard, Schwab all offer these funds with almost no fees and no minimum investment requirements. The barrier to entry today is lower than at any point in financial history. Second, understand what your savings account is actually for: an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses, liquid, accessible, safe. That is the correct use of a savings account. Everything above that emergency fund, money you will not need for at least 5 years, should not be sitting still. It should be working. Third, capture the employer match first. Nothing in the stock market produces a guaranteed 100% return, but employer matching does. If your company offers it, it is the single most powerful financial advantage available to you. Finally, automate everything. Set up an automatic transfer on the same day your paycheck arrives, before the money becomes something else, before your lifestyle expands to absorb it, before the decision can be made differently. $400 a month, automatic, employer match captured, index fund, starting this month. Jordan is not losing $450,000 because she lacks discipline. She is losing it because she followed the instructions she was given, by institutions that understood the calculation she was never shown, by a financial system that profits from the gap between what her money is doing and what it could be doing. The gap is real. It has been growing every single month since Jordan deposited her first paycheck. But the calculation only works if Jordan never runs the numbers. Now she has. And once you see a $450,000 gap, you cannot unsee it. The system counted on you never running the calculation. Now you have. What happens next is entirely up to you.